With a thrilling wire-to-wire win, War Emblem scored a third Kentucky Derby victory for Bob Baffert. But now as the focus shifts to the Preakness, Baffert finds himself in a familiar position. Twice before, he has narrowly missed the coveted Triple Crown. Will the unheralded War Emblem finally be the one? The Preakness, next Saturday at 5 Eastern on NBC.
NBC Monday, the Crossing Jordan season finale. He came to her with a secret.
I know who killed your mother.
And now Jordan will find the answers.
Stop lying to me!
We did what we had to do.
But is she ready for the truth? The season finale of Crossing Jordan, all new NBC Monday.
On the next MASH.
I was never very good with my hands.
Guess that's why he became a surgeon, huh, sir?
Enter the secret world of Henry Blake through some hilarious home movies. You'll meet his beautiful wife, Lorraine, the mother of his children, and the woman of his dreams, who happens to live next door.
Boy, that Sylvia Jaffe is loaded for bear.
It's a side of Colonel Blake you've never seen before. The steamy suburbanite strikes on MASH.
MASH, 5:30 weekdays here on Channel 33.
Sometimes life can be confusing. It's nice to know there's a place you can go for accurate and in-depth information. A place that can help bring things into focus.
Good evening to you. I'm Linda Jackson.
Live at 5 and news at 6.
And I'm Mary Cullen.
There's no better way to start your evening. It's taking you where news happens.
We're live on Illinois Road. Reporting live at 5.
It's getting you ready for the days ahead.
We could see some snow.
It's how news should be. Live at 5 and news at 6. Your news is on NBC 33.
Next Extra, the biggest premiere of the year, Star Wars Episode 2. From New York, Hollywood, San Fran, and Boston, we're there with the stars for the big night. Then, want a body like a superhero? Why not try what Toby did? Spidey's trainer shows you how the Web Wonder pumped up. And the most dangerous illusions of all, or are they? Magic's biggest secrets revealed. Plus, the network's rolling out their new fall lineups. Will your favorite show stay or go? Next Extra.
Monday at 7:30 right here on NBC 33.
Plans to revitalize downtown Fort Wayne, 11 at 11 Tuesday. You're watching WKJG NBC 33 Fort Wayne. Live, this is NBC 33 News Weekend. Your news is on NBC 33.
She's the one who made you feel better when you were sick and has been your best friend through it all. Yes, I'm talking about Mom. And today, of course, is Mother's Day, and some moms were treated to a day of beauty while creating some new memories. And that's tonight's NBC 33 top story. Good evening, I'm Angela Holdsworth. Welcome to this special edition of NBC 33 News Weekend. It's a day to celebrate the woman who gave you life, your mom. And people here in the Summit City took the time today to show their love and appreciation in all kinds of different ways. NBC 33's Francis Coe is live on West Jefferson Boulevard, where some Mother's Day celebrations are still underway. Francis?
Angie, I'm here at the Biaggi's restaurant where it's been busy all day with people treating their moms to lunch and dinner. Of course, taking your mom to a meal is a traditional way to show your mom your appreciation. Well, moms and other moms in our area got their pampering in some other ways.
This is called Behold the Power of the Tiara.
Mother's Day has special meaning for Sheila Wilson. That's because she's only been a mom for 3 months since she gave birth to her son, Scott. But today, she has a new outlook on life, or rather a new look, thanks to a makeover and other luxuries.
I got breakfast made for me this morning, and my husband got up with my son and let me sleep in. That doesn't happen often.
Wilson and other moms were divas for the day at the Love to Scrapbook store in Covington Plaza, crowned with tiaras and treated to lots of bubbly. Many people say Mother's Day isn't just a one-day celebration of moms, but an opportunity to tell them how much they've meant to us throughout the years. 7-year-old Erin Monroe came with her mother Karen, piecing together special moments they've shared in a scrapbook of mother-daughter memories.
When I'm sick, she helps me to feel better.
I wasn't able to be with my mom today, so I had to send my love the traditional way.
Hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, honey. Thank you so much for your call. Far away from home. It means so much to me.
Well, these crowds are not likely to die anytime soon. Biaggi's and other restaurants in our area are expecting moms to be streaming in late into the evening. Reporting live from the Biaggi's restaurant on West Jefferson Boulevard, I'm Frances Coe, NBC 33 News. Angie?
Okay, thanks a lot, Frances. It was nice to meet your mother today. Thank you. Well, it was a world of roses today at one shrine in Orlando, Florida this Mother's Day. 10,000 multicolored roses covered the altar at the Queen Mary of the Universe Shrine. The breathtaking arrangement was set up to honor all mothers and motherhood. The display is an annual Mother's Day event, and all of the roses were donated by those wishing to honor and remember their mothers. And on a sad note today, a toddler lost his mother in a car crash early this morning. Allen County Sheriff's investigators are trying to figure out how 20-year-old Cynthia Carrillo lost control of her car at the intersection of Ellison and Yanni roads. Around midnight, she hit a tree and was killed instantly. Her 18-month-old son was treated for minor injuries, and he is with his grandparents. Wildfires in California continue to burn after already consuming more than 3,000 acres and forcing more than 100 residents to evacuate. About 1,000 firefighters were assigned to battle the flames that spread quickly through the dry terrain of Santa Clarita. That's just north of Los Angeles. There are no reports of injuries, but dozens of homes are in danger. Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies evacuated 150 residents from cabins along a canyon area in Angeles National Forest. At least 100 firefighters battled a 5-alarm fire in Baltimore this morning. The fire broke out at a former school building that had been converted into an apartment complex. No residents were in the building at the time. 3 firefighters suffered injuries. Investigators are still searching for the cause of that fire. A Muncie police officer is out on bond after being arrested for dealing and possessing cocaine. 40-year-old Tyrone Haskins was arrested at a Muncie mall Friday night. The 12-year veteran of the police department has been suspended before for testing positive on a drug test back in 1997. The investigation is ongoing, and the Muncie police chief plans to hold a news conference Monday to provide further details. The state's lawmakers are getting ready for a special session this week that will center on the budget. The state's financial crisis is putting a dark cloud over plans to raise academic standards in Indiana schools. The concern is that the funding losses will make it difficult to make improvements and higher standards for Hoosier students. The special session will begin May 14th. Indiana taxpayers are shelling out millions of extra dollars each year to pay overtime for state employees. According to a report in the Indianapolis Star, state workers racked up 2.5 million hours of overtime since 1997. That's a 31% increase since Governor Frank O'Bannon took office. The state's budget director defends the extra overtime by saying it saves money to pay out the extra overtime in the long run. Well, Ford will plan on beginning to mail out their buyout offers to employees this week. This is part of Ford's previously announced goal of cutting 5,000 salaried positions. Ford cut 3,500 white-collar positions last year by offering early retirements and voluntary separation packages. Employees who receive offers will have 45 days to accept or reject them, and then another 7 days to change their mind once they decide. It was some scary moments for some people in an airport in Kentucky today. Officials evacuated Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport for 3 hours this morning. Witnesses say a man ran into a secure area of the terminal after a screener at the security checkpoint found a small knife in his boot. Airport authorities say that the man was arrested because of an unrelated incident. No specifics were given. Passengers were re-screened before being allowed back inside. And now taking a look at news around the world, our first stop is in Cuba. It was an historic day as former President Jimmy Carter arrived in Havana today. He is the first U.S. leader in or out of office to travel to Cuba in more than 40 years. Cuban leader Fidel Castro personally welcomed and escorted Carter and his wife to the airport. Carter expressed his gratitude for Castro's invitation.
Let me say that my wife and I are delighted to be in Cuba. I believe it was 14 years ago when President Castro and I met in Caracas that he first invited me to come to this country. And then a couple of years ago at the funeral of Pierre Trudeau, a mutual friend of ours, he extended his invitation again.
While serving as U.S. president from 1977 to 1981, President Carter helped reestablish diplomatic missions in both countries and negotiated the release of thousands of political prisoners. The Pope sent out a special delegation to the first Mass at the Church of the Nativity today. The representatives of the Vatican were led by a special envoy. The Vatican, along with the U.S. and European Union, intervened on Friday in the 39-day standoff. Pope John Paul II expressed relief over an end of the siege in a Mass today, and he urged the Palestinians and Israelis to work on building trust. And finally, Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon halted a looming military attack on Palestinian militants in the Gaza Strip. Israeli troops and tanks massed around the Gaza, but the defense minister froze the assault temporarily. He will consider future moves in the next several days. Leaders of Egypt, Syria, and Saudi Arabia are meeting in a Red Sea resort in hopes of getting an agreement to pursue a peace deal between the Arab world and Israel if Israeli troops pull out of Arab lands. Israel refused to make a total withdrawal, saying that would undermine its security policy. And that's your look at news around the world tonight. Well, coming up tonight on NBC 3311 at 11, Prime Minister Ariel Sharon suffered a major defeat in his party as the party rejected his proposal of creating a Palestinian state. Plus, the report today shows firefighters are dying in buildings at an increasing rate despite advances in firefighting technology. We'll take a closer look at this disturbing trend. Plus, do you think you understand your cellular phone plan? Well, we'll show you why roaming is still causing some major confusion and complaints. Those stories and more tonight on NBC 3311 at 11. And coming up next on this special edition of NBC 33 News Weekend, Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones hits theaters next week, but someone has been cloning the movie on the web. We'll have that story. And some think it's just a fad to be a vegetarian, but those eating habits could be helping a teenager's life expectancy. We'll tell you about it next when NBC 33 News Weekend continues.
Your news is on NBC 33. The latest breaking news, Neighborhood Storm Tracker 33 and the forecasters, and local sports coverage. It's Fort Wayne's news leader. Your news is on NBC 33. Filled with businesses and entertainment, it was the center of town. Today, downtown Fort Wayne lives in the shadow of its former glory. But plans for the future are already in the works. In an NBC 33 special report, find out how success stories from neighboring cities will serve as the model for a new beginning. NBC 33 11 at 11 Tuesday.
Quick! Memorize everything about this precise moment because you are going to want to remember exactly what you were doing when Pizza Hut announced the historic $1.99 pizza deal. That's right. Right now, when you buy any of these delicious large specialty pizzas, like a Supreme or Meat Lovers, we'll give you an entire second medium pizza with hot, bubbly cheese and one topping of your choice for an incredible $1.99. In the annals of history, has any other pizza company offered a deal this good? Everyone's going to want a piece of this. The historic $1.99 pizza deal from Pizza Hut.
The laughs, tears, memories.
Wait, we're not done yet!
It's Rosie's farewell celebration.
How enjoyable is that?
This week on Rosie, Bette Midler, Robin Williams, and
my favorite, Melanie Griffith.
Then,
time flies when you're having fun.
Only 2 more weeks of goodbye shows, huge stars, and special surprises. So set your VCRs every day.
Memories. That's what it's all about.
Rosie's farewell celebration continues.
Thank you, America.
On Rosie.
Monday at 4 right here on NBC 33.
Spider-Man will only take his mask off for one thing. Well, make that 2 things. The Hardee's $6 burger. Put one in your mouth before seeing Spider-Man in theaters May 3rd. A $6 burger, only $3.95 at Hardee's.
You have a choice when you watch your late local news. NBC 33 11 at 10 on MSNBC and NBC 33 11 at 11. The news you want when you want it tonight.
Closed captioning is a community service of NBC 33.
Welcome back to NBC 33. Less than 1 week before its scheduled release, illegal copies of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones are already making their rounds on the internet. The Los Angeles Times reports one of the copies was made using a camcorder and a tripod during a private viewing of the film. Another copy apparently used a more sophisticated technique. Both copies, however, were distributed via Internet Relay Chat. That's a program that allows users to copy films at high speed from other computers on different networks. The poor quality of the bootleg film makes it unlikely, however, that there will be much damage done to ticket sales when the film makes its official debut. And in tonight's NBC 33 Health Beat report, parents, if your teen is getting into the veggie thing, don't worry. It may not just be a fad, but a healthy alternative that could help them live longer. Researchers at the University of Minnesota studied 4,500 meat-eating and vegetarian teenagers and found young vegetarians were more likely to meet the dietary recommendations of Healthy People 2010. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services created Healthy People 2010 as a dietary guideline. It suggests consuming less than 30% of daily calories from fat and less than 10% from saturated fats. After comparing the diets, researchers found vegetarians were more likely to meet those recommendations and reduce their risk of developing diseases which could lead to death in adulthood. Well, it's time to take a look outside with NBC 33 meteorologist John Thonert, who is standing by in the Weather Center with a first look at our forecast. John?
Angela, we didn't do too badly today in the weather department. We had a few rumbles of thunder this morning and some heavy early morning rain, but then just some light showers, but temperatures were mild throughout the day, so not too bad of a day if you don't mind cloudy skies, which is what we still have with a temperature mild at 65 degrees. Winds are out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. The pressure is falling at 29.89 and the humidity 97%. We had a high today of 66 degrees with a low of 47. Our normals are 70 at 48, records 86 and 31, and 6,300 of an inch of precipitation with those thunderstorms this morning. Is there any more rain on the way, or are we actually going to clear up? I'll let you know coming up next.
Affordable Dentures. We're committed to giving you personal patient care at an affordable price. Your denture will be individually crafted right here in our office by our skilled lab technicians. All our dentures are made from materials accepted by the American Dental Association. You can even get them the same day if you come in early enough. Call 1-800-DENTURE for personal denture care. Now that's a good reason to smile.
This week on Rosie, Bette Midler, Robin Williams, and
my favorite, Melanie Griffith.
And
time flies when you're having fun.
Only 2 more weeks of star-studded goodbye shows. Rosie's farewell celebration continues on Rosie.
Monday at 4 right here on NBC 33.
Where in the world is Mark in the morning?
All this week, Mark hits the road visiting fun and unique destinations. Will he be in a town near you? You'll have to watch and see. NBC 33 News Today, 4:55 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back to NBC 33 on this Mother's Day evening. I hope all you mothers had a wonderful Mother's Day. Not as rainy as we thought it would be. Most of the rain slipped off to our south fairly early today. Just some light rain to contend with. We will see some spotty showers throughout the evening. We do have some in northern Allen County, but look off to the south. They are just getting hammered with torrential rainfall. Terre Haute has already seen in excess of 4.5 inches of rain for the day. They are still seeing some light rain down to the south. We will continue to see that rain push off to the east-southeast overnight tonight. Let's take a look at the planning forecast and see how we're going to shape up. Some light showers through about 9 a.m., 53 degrees at that time, 49 at 1, and 46 by 6 a.m. tomorrow under cloudy skies. It looks like it's going to be quite a cloudy Monday for us. The satellite radar composite shows all the rain that moved through yesterday. Our storm totals was about 1.41 inches, all said and done with the rain. It is now streaming through central and southern portions of Indiana, where they are seeing plenty of shower and thunderstorm activity. All this activity is going to shift to the east overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. We'll see that on future track. A cold front just making its way through northwestern Indiana right now. By midnight, it will push through Indiana and head off to the east, taking all of the heavy rain with it. The area of low pressure slowly working its way through the New England states, giving them plenty of rain where they really do need to see the rain. They have been in drought conditions for quite some time. We're just going to be left with some wraparound cloudiness throughout the day on Monday. High pressure off to our west is going to slowly work its way in by Monday night and into Tuesday, hoping to break the clouds out by about Tuesday, and that will give us some partly cloudy skies. Wednesday looks like the nice day of the week when we should see some mostly sunny conditions here. Finally, a little bit of drying time. Temperatures tonight are going to slowly fall into the mid-40s as the cold front works its way through. All of the warm air pushing off to the south and east with the 70s and 80s, and then some warmth returns to the Great Plains states where they'll start to see some sunshine tomorrow. But for us, we're going to remain in the low 50s with those cloudy skies. Here's how your forecast looks for tonight. An overnight low of 46 degrees, some scattered shower activity for us. northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we'll see a high of 54 degrees with cloudy skies, some drizzle, and chilly conditions. Kind of a raw Monday for us. Northwest winds about 15 to 25 miles per hour. The 7-day forecast showing some improvement by midweek. Temperatures back to near 70 degrees with some sunny skies on Wednesday. Partly cloudy early on Thursday, and then some more showers and maybe some thunderstorms Thursday night and into Friday. Temperatures falling back into the low 60s, then maybe the mid-60s again by Sunday, as we'll see some more sunshine. So kind of an off and on rainy pattern for us.
Yeah, although we did see some of that lightning, pretty bright stuff last night.
Nice light display last night. It's a good thing that's over for us. We don't need any more rain.
No, that's for sure. It's time for those farmers to get out into the fields. Thanks a lot there, John. Well, coming up next, Kent Horman is in next with all the day's sports action. And time trials in Indy were a big washout, and a former Fort Wayne soccer star shines on a national level. Stay close. You're watching a special edition of NBC 33 News Weekend.
A community grows one birth at a time, and each new life powers the community's growth, strength, and future. For more than 120 years, Parkview has brought new life to our communities. Our tradition of excellence continues today. The New Life Center, available at all Parkview locations, provides high-quality, personalized care that promotes healthy child development. Parkview New Life Centers, bringing new life to our communities.
In the near future, you may not be able to place or receive calls on your wireless phone. Without being reprogrammed for our area code change, you may not be able to use your phone when you need it most. The simple solution is to stop by the wireless store where you bought your phone and have it reprogrammed with the new area code. It takes just a few minutes, and it will ensure that you will always have the convenience and security of your wireless service. Reprogramming your phone is a free service, and it must be done no later than June 14th. Stop by today and make sure your service is never interrupted.
Talking to your teen, avoiding abduction, picking up preschool, peer pressure. They're our future. They're our kids. Every weeknight, a different story about your toddler, your teen, your baby-to-be.
Parenting is very informative.
Learn from the experts and hear what's worked for other parents.
I worry about drugs. I worry about their education.
It's the biggest challenge I've ever faced.
Parenting with Mary Collins.
Tough questions, practical answers. Today's news for tomorrow's kids.
NBC 33 live at 5 weeknights.
The rain just won't go away at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A steady downpour washing out today's scheduled second day of time trials at the Brickyard. 24 cars made the show yesterday, leaving 9 spots left to be filled. The drivers who were slated to be in line today will go first when time trials resume a week from today, just 1 day now of qualifying. After the 33-car field is complete, then the bumping process begins. Some big names have yet to qualify for the 500, including 2-time winner Arie Luyendyk, as well as A.J. Foyt drivers Greg Ray and Ayrton Dare, plus Team Green drivers Dario Franchitti and Paul Tracy. A controversial finish to today's Austrian Grand Prix. Pole sitter Rubens Barrichello had been leading the race from the start, but he was ordered to pull over and let his Ferrari teammate Michael Schumacher pass him just before the finish line. Schumacher is after a record-tying 5th World Driving Championship, but even he admitted he wasn't happy about that call and that it probably was the wrong decision. The bizarre finish gave Schumacher his first ever Austrian Grand Prix victory. It had been the only Formula One race he hadn't won. Following the runner-up Barrichello were Juan Montoya, Ralf Schumacher, and Giancarlo Fisichella. The U.S. soccer team began a 3-game exhibition series today to the tune-up for the World Cup. The Americans taking on Uruguay in Washington, D.C., and what a day it would be for Fort Wayne's DeMarcus Beasley. First half off the corner kick, Jeff Agus crosses the ball to Tony Senna. He pops it into the corner of the net, the pretty header. It's 1-0 USA. Then later, off the misplay by Alejandro Lembo, Beasley with the ball, the quick move for the shot, save, but DeMarcus pounces on the rebound and punches it home. The Americans, thanks to Beasley, go on to win this one by the final of 2-1. The Wizards were trying for their 3rd straight victory over West Michigan today in Grand Rapids. They came close but came up just short. Kevin Ranking 3 for 3 with an RBI, but the Wiz fall to the Whitecaps 4-3. They wrap up that series at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning Fort Wayne time in Grand Rapids. The Cubs and Brewers finally got a game in today at soggy Wrigley Field, but Chicago probably wished it had been a 2nd straight rainout. 7th inning of the ball game, already with a big lead. The Brewers add to it. Raul Casanova rips this shot into the vacant bleachers and right. That's a grand slam and it was a 9-1 ball game. Then, just an inning later, bags juiced again. Richie Sexson unloads another grand slam. The Cubs were just plain embarrassed by the Brewers this weekend. Milwaukee blasted them 13-4, beating Chicago for the third straight time. The Reds, after their 5th win in their last 6 games, taking on St. Louis today. First inning, Reggie Taylor launches this drive deep to right. That is gone for a grand slam. Grand Slam-itis today in the big league. Cincinnati roared out to a 6-0 lead after 1. They were up 8-0, but the Cards came all the way back to tie it. Then in the 8th, J.D. Drew loses this one over the wall in center. A 2-run shot, and St. Louis rallied to beat the Reds 10-8. The Yankees trying to complete a sweep of the Twins in Minnesota. Nope, New York is not leaving Minneapolis soon enough, though. Looking like the old Bronx Bombers. Jorge Posada with a homer to right, giving the Yanks a 2-0 lead. Then Robin Ventura, Nick Johnson, Derek Jeter, and how about Jason Giambi just for good measure? And this one is a tape measure shot into the second deck and right. The Yanks routed the Twins today. It's the old Broderick Crawford score, 10-4. Coming off the lowest scoring playoff game since the advent of the shot clock in 1955, the Pistons and Celtics hooked up again today in Boston for Game 4 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. First half, Kenny Anderson will find Antoine Walker all alone down low. How open is he? He drops it through with ease. The Celts lead it by 4, but Detroit comes back to take the lead. Ben Wallace fires the ball back out to Jerry Stackhouse. He knocks down the tray, 16 points for Stackhouse. Tony Delk, though, will hit the buzzer-beating tray to end the first half, and Boston's up by a deuce at the break. To the second half now, Paul Pierce pulls up, and he sticks the triple. He had 25 points in the game. Cliff Robinson tried to keep the Pistons firing. He's got 3 of his 24, but it wouldn't be enough. Watch Walker get the home court roll on this shot as he goes down the lane. He would finish with 30. The Celtics beat Detroit 90-79. They lead the series 3-1. In what could be the final NBA game played in Charlotte, the Nets were trying to take a 3-1 lead in their playoff series with the Hornets. Despite the banged-up eye, Jason Kidd did start, and did he ever play? Nifty little lefty lay-in off the transition. But Charlotte would not go down quietly. Baron Davis will answer with a strong drive to the hoop, +1, and the Hornets were up by 5 at the break. Second half, Jamal Magloire. Watch him just spin and go up strong for the big jam. But the Nets would take over in crunch time. First, Keith Van Horn from behind the arc. He's got the 3-pointer. He had 16 points. And then Kidd finishes the break with another lay-in and the foul. He had 24 points, 11 boards, 89-79 Nets. A win Wednesday in Jersey means the Nets move on, while the Hornets move to New Orleans. Montreal and Carolina playing the critical 5th game of their Stanley Cup playoff series. They split the first 4 tilts. Just over 3 minutes into the game, Martin Gillinet beats Jose Theodore, top shelf as he streaks in, and it's 1-0 Hurricanes. Then, in period 2, watch Rod Brindamore cut through the slot, then he just whips the low shot past Theodore. The Canes go on to whip the Habs 5-1. They take a 3-2 lead in the series. Stanley Cup playoffs now, it's getting near crunch time where every game is just getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, well, I guess but that makes a good Stanley Cup playoff, right? That's what we want.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Kent. When we come back, we're going to have a look at your drive time forecast. Stay close. You're watching NBC 33 Weekend News.
Our policy at Lebamoff Law Offices is to have attorneys on duty during business hours to personally accept calls from people who need help pursuing accident cases. Our combined 55 years of personal injury service assures you straight answers. And we're backed by a support staff with more than a quarter-century handling legal claims. Call us for friendly and honest answers.
If you have questions, ask Lebamoff Law Offices, making the law work for you every day.
Hi folks, welcome back to Newport's Outlet Stores. Mark, I have a door just like this at home with the windows, and I'm not satisfied with the window I have. Can I change it?
Yeah, you can do something about it, Mandy, that's for sure. You can get a gorgeous entry system just out of your plain door at home. And little do you know, now folks at home don't know either, you can take your screwdriver, take these screws out on the back, and these are very standardized, everything even post-1960. We have a glass to fit for you and lots of them. And you can switch it out yourself, and it takes about 10 minutes.
What if I have a door that has no window opening at all in it? Can I have a window put in?
Very common. A lot of you at home have a 6-panel door, and Mandy, you can bring that door in, pull your hinge pins, bring it in. We'll cut it out for you. All Newport's Outlet Stores has custom workshop in the back. We'll cut it out for you and put in the glass of your choice. Come on up to Newport's Outlet Stores, now with 6 locations.
Where in the world is Mark in the morning?
All this week, Mark hits the road visiting fun and unique destinations. Will he be in a town near you? You'll have to watch and see. NBC 33 News Today, 4:55 to 7 a.m.
How'd it go?
Not so good. He walked me to the subway and said, we should do this again.
Loosely translated, we should do this again means you will never see me naked.
You know, like, it's not you means it is you.
Friends. Weeknights at 7 on NBC 33.
Welcome back to NBC 33. Well, we're hoping for a little less rain, maybe a little more sunshine in our forecast.
Doesn't look like we'll see the sun anytime soon, but it looks like the rain's going to start to ease off on us. Some scattered showers tonight and a little bit of fog, too. It's quite humid outside, so watch out for that if you're driving out there. Visibilities may get a little bit low at times. Tomorrow looks like a cloudy, possibly drizzly day. Temperatures only getting into the mid-50s. So
wow. Just can't quite get into the whole sunny
at all.
Well, I guess, we got a little bit of sun out there.
We got a little bit of a break. The rain shifted to the south. A good gift for the mothers on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Not so wet today. So that's nice. I hope everybody had a nice Mother's Day.
That's your gift to Mom. That's pretty good. We just had to do the news and the sports. You could bring the sunshine. Well, that seems a little unfair.
I couldn't quite get the sun to come out, but I do what I can.
Do what you can. John. What can we do? Well, a big happy Mother's Day to all you mothers and grandmothers out there. And thank you for choosing NBC 33. We'll, of course, be back here on NBC 33, 11 at 11. You have a great evening.